Whispers from the Old Cemetery, a tale of forgotten souls. In the small, sleepy town of Crestwood, there was a place that everyone knew about, but few dared to visit. The old cemetery on the outskirts of town. Overgrown with weeds and half hidden by the surrounding woods, it was a place of legends and whispers, a place where the past refused to stay buried. The cemetery had been there for as long as anyone could remember, its weathered tombstones leaning at odd angles, names and dates worn away by time. Local legend told of mysterious whispers that emanated from the graves at night, chilling the bones of those who dared to listen. Most of the townsfolk dismissed the stories as mere superstition, the kind of tales told to scare children around a campfire. But for Lily Parker, the old cemetery was a mystery waiting to be solved. It started as a dare. Lily and her friends had been hanging out on a warm summer evening, the sun dipping low in the sky, when the conversation turned to the cemetery. Sam, always the bravest of the group, suggested they go and listen for the whispers. The others laughed it off, but Lily felt a spark of curiosity. What if the stories were true? That night, the group made their way to the cemetery, flashlights in hand, the beams cutting through the darkness. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, and the wind rustled through the trees, creating an eerie symphony. They stood among the graves, their laughter fading as they strained to hear something, anything. At first, there was nothing but the sound of the wind. But then, just as they were about to leave, the whispers began. Faint and distant at first, like a breeze stirring the leaves, but then growing louder, more distinct. It was a soft, mournful sound, as if the earth itself were sighing. The group froze, their eyes wide with fear, but Lily felt something else, a pull, a need to understand. The others ran, leaving Lily alone in the darkness, her heart pounding in her chest. The whispers continued, circling her, growing louder, more urgent. They weren't just sounds, they were voices, pleading, begging, calling out for help. Lily couldn't make out the words, but she knew one thing for certain. These weren't just echoes of the past. These were the voices of the forgotten, souls trapped in the earth, desperate to be heard. Determined to uncover the truth, Lily began researching the cemetery's history. She spent hours in the town's dusty archives, piecing together a story that had been hidden for decades. The cemetery, she discovered, was the final resting place for those who had died under mysterious circumstances, unresolved murders, suicides, and unexplained disappearances. The townspeople had buried their secrets along with the bodies, hoping that time would erase the sins of the past. But the dead hadn't forgotten. As Lily delved deeper into the cemetery's history, the whispers grew louder, following her even in daylight. She started having strange visions, flashes of faces twisted in fear, hands reaching out from the grave, voices pleading for justice. The spirits were revealing their stories to her, showing her the moments of their deaths, the betrayals, the cover-ups, the lies that had condemned them to an eternity of unrest. Lily realized that the only way to silence the whispers was to uncover the truth and expose the dark secrets buried with the dead. But as she got closer to the truth, she found herself becoming a target. Strange things started happening. Her research notes were torn apart, her laptop wiped clean, her phone calls intercepted. It was clear that someone in Crestwood didn't want the past to come to light. One night, as Lily was going through the cemetery records, she received an anonymous message. It was a warning. Stop digging or else. But Lily wasn't afraid. She knew that the spirits were counting on her to set things right, to bring their killers to justice. With renewed determination, Lily pieced together the final pieces of the puzzle. The murders had been covered up by powerful figures in the town's history, people who had used their influence to bury the truth and protect their own. But they hadn't counted on the dead remembering. Armed with the evidence, Lily went to the local newspaper, ready to expose the truth. But before she could, the whispers returned, more frantic than ever. They led her back to the cemetery, where she found a freshly dug grave, her name etched on the tombstone. Realizing the danger she was in, Lily knew she had to act fast. She contacted the authorities and handed over the evidence, ensuring that the truth would finally be revealed. The following day, the story hit the front page. Crestwood's dark past, the cover-ups, the murders, all laid bare for the world to see. The whispers stopped that night, the air in the cemetery finally still. The spirits of the forgotten souls had found peace at last, their stories finally told. Lily left Crestwood the next day, the weight of the past lifting from her shoulders. But as she drove away, she couldn't help but glance in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see the shadows of the past following her. The cemetery was behind her now, but the memory of those whispers would stay with her forever. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.